Thank you, Matt. We are staying on top of breaking news as multiple agencies are investigating a shooting and police chase that happened in Shreveport earlier this afternoon. And yesterday we found out that Pouncey actually filed a motion in the civil case where he essentially judicially admits to the battery against Brown. Most of our Texas counties are looking pretty good right now, but if you look in Caddo Parish, 19,632 outages right now just for Caddo Parish customers alone, and we are looking at over 9,000 outages in Bossier City right now. If you own a business and you offer online shopping, I've got a scam alert you're going to want to pay attention to. This isn't necessarily a new scam, but it did just hit a local business here in the Shreveport area, and that's why I want to talk about it. Multiple agencies are investigating a shooting and police chase that left 2 people shot and one of them with life-threatening injuries. We've been following this all afternoon. KSLA's Marvin Andrade joins us from the First Alert Center right now to break down the latest in this investigation. Marvin? Well, Jeff, this video did provide some clarity about what happened when officers were called to Calvin Eitri White's home, but we have to admit it stirred a lot of emotion for many in the community, including State Representative Stephen Jackson. Now, we do want to warn the viewers at home that the video you're about to see may be disturbing, but we've been in touch with Ms. White, and she says she wants people to know her story. What it takes in order to file, in this case, a silver alert for an elderly person, but just alerts in general. So I'm going to take you back over to our Mac Mini so I can give you a look at a resource that I found for you. This is on the Department of Justice's page. Very steady thunder and lightning, and we were, of course, getting those push alerts on our phones every time. In fact, I just got another one literally right now. Severe weather or severe thunderstorm warning for our area. So it's a good way to stay up to date for sure.
I was shocked. I was stunned. Really taken by surprise.
The actions of a few weigh on the shoulders of the entire department, according to Shreveport Police Chief Wayne Smith.
This is very embarrassing to this entire police department for an incident such as this to draw, I guess, some suspicion, maybe some distrust within our agency.
3 officers were arrested after a local store owner said her products were stolen while her vehicle was towed. She told KSLA most of her stuff was missing when she went to SPD the next day. The chief says anytime an officer finds evidence, they have to bring all of it back for safekeeping.
The property and evidence room is open and at an officer's disposal around the clock to come at any time with a report and place evidence in there. And once they drop it in the box, they cannot get it back out.
The business owner gave KSLA surveillance camera video showing one of the arrested officers in the store the next day. The owner claims she brought some of the stolen items back and offered to pay nearly $1,000 for them. Chief Smith says investigators are reviewing that video along with written reports and body camera footage as they continue to investigate.
And at some point or another, it will make it to my desk, and I will review both the criminal investigation and the administrative investigation and make a decision from there where discipline should be.
He hopes the officers' actions won't overshadow the work the department has done to make the community safer.
Don't let this incident cast a cloud over the other, 400 and nearly 30 of us who do the right thing for the right reason each and every day, who are proud to wear this badge, proud to be considered a professional police officer. And it just so happened every once in a while someone steps outside those boundaries.
The footage we uncovered was hard to watch at times for many.
I watched it last night before I went to bed, and I can tell you it really disturbed me more from what I saw.
Representative Jackson speaking with KSLA after seeing the moments Calvinitri White showed officers through her home before being put in handcuffs. KSLA Investigates requested the body camera video from White's arrest not to show her pain, but to better understand how the domestic disturbance call turned into an arrest on neglect of family charges. In the video, officers noted roaches in the apartment, conditions White says stem from a neglectful landlord.
What really kind of disappointed me was she mentions the incident where the city had to cut the water off because the landlords failed to pay their water bill. So she's been a victim.
Earlier this year, tenants at the Village Square apartments had their water access limited to 4 hours a day. That's because even though they were paying for the water as part of their rent, the owners didn't pay that money to the city of Shreveport. Jackson says he applauds the district attorney for deciding not to prosecute White once they saw proof she had requested help from her landlord multiple times this year to deal with bugs and other issues.
So she has a lot going on. You didn't solve anything by putting her in jail. And so that's why I applaud the district attorney for not prosecuting this case. And I think Shreveport police needs to go back to the table and say, let's retrain and let's talk about how do we identify poverty.
He also says the fault lies with the owner of Village Square Apartments for not responding to tenants' pleas for help.
Yesterday, I was saying, why don't we just move on? But after seeing that video, there's something deeper that we need to have a community conversation about. And I'm going to continue to press the fact that the landlords, the owners need to be held responsible for the conditions of these apartments and for the money that they stole. And so that's a hill that I'm willing to die on.
Shreveport police issued a statement to KSLA News 12 today. They said in part, at this time, we have found no indication that any department policies were violated. The officer acted in good faith with the well-being of the children in mind. It goes on to say, it's important to understand that law enforcement cannot remove children from potentially unsafe environments without a criminal complaint. Our goal is never to separate families. However, the safety and welfare of our most vulnerable citizens will always remain our top priority, end quote. You can find that full statement in our article on our website, ksla.com. And we have reached out to the apartment complex for comment, and so far we have gotten no response. But we will continue to follow this story and give you the first alert as we get new updates. Live in studio, Ashley Graham, KSLA News 12.
Even when she sits next to the graves of her sons and daughter, Deborah Allen finds it hard to grieve.
Like, this is a place, a sacred place, where you want to come and you want to just tell your loved one what's been going on in your life and how, much you miss them. And I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even do it because I'm looking at everything around me.
What's around her and many of the graves at Carver Memorial are graves covered by weeds and falling trees. Some of the slabs covering the graves have cracks letting water in. In other spots, headstones are being uprooted by trees.
This is a sacred ground, and these are laid to rest the human remains of their loved ones. And the baby to walk into this type of neglect conditions is unacceptable, and we shouldn't support this type of cruelty that they're facing when they come to see their family. They should be able to live in peace and come and rest in peace.
This isn't the first time families have reached out to KSLA concerned about the cemetery.
It just, no other way to put it, it's just neglect. And there needs to be something done about it. And the only way to make change is to call attention to the fact that there needs to be.
3 years later, families are still calling attention to the same problems.
And you come out here to, get peace. But when you come out here to get peace, you don't have peace because trees are on the graves, tombstones are broken, your people are underwater, and it's just a mess. And I think it shouldn't be like this.
In a perpetual care cemetery, a portion of the money from sales would go into a fund, and that money would ensure that the grounds were maintained. Carver Memorial is not a perpetual care cemetery. That means the responsibility of maintaining the grounds is on the owner.
And then when you call them, they'll tell you that wait till the weather get permitted for them to fix it, but they never fixed it.
We tried reaching out to the owner for this story multiple times, but got no response. Records from the Louisiana Cemetery Board show complaints from families as recent as 2023. The cemetery's owner said it's not possible to keep up with the demands, writing in one letter, quote, "And to all of the people who are complaining, feel free to help with the upkeep anytime you like," leaving families like Deborah's, who've already put in time and effort to clean the graves, feeling frustrated.
I think we need to get together and try to make something happen.
Something can happen, though, according to LSU Shreveport history professor Dr. Gary Joyner. He said it would take time, but a historic designation could help keep the cemetery in better shape.
It can certainly happen. It is not a short process. I'm chair of the Historic Preservation Commission, and we have some cemeteries that are on the National Register, and I think Carver deserves to be on there. We have a handful of cemeteries that are of that importance, and we need to handle that. If the families request, the HPC can certainly look at it, and I would entertain working on that.
If Carver Memorial earned a spot on the National Register, Joyner says this would give the cemetery more opportunities to get money for its upkeep. They would have to prove the cemetery is worthy of a historic designation based on the design of the tombs and monuments or the history of the people buried there. And even with that designation, the funding wouldn't be guaranteed.
It has to be studied. You have to look at the significance. It would enter in as a historic landscape, and then you look at the proof to make it that. Okay, the proof is who's there. How about the architecture of the tombs, the way the tombs are set up?
In Shreveport, Ashley Graham, KSLA News 12.